The 2006 US penny may seem like just another common coin in your pocket, but hidden among millions of ordinary pennies are rare error coins that could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. While most people overlook their pocket change, savvy collectors know that a simple misstrike or die variation could turn an everyday penny into a highly sought-after treasure. In this video, we'll dive deep into the world of rare 2006 penny errors, their value, and how you can find one. Every coin tells a story, and the 2006 penny is no different. First, let's take a look at what makes this particular year significant. The standard 2006 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse, a design that had been in circulation since 1959, along with Victor D. Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Composed of 97.5% zinc and coated with a thin layer of copper, the penny follows the composition shift that occurred in 1982, when the U.S. Mint transitioned from solid copper to zinc-based pennies to reduce production costs. While these coins were minted in the billions, a handful of them contain errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. So, what exactly makes an error coin valuable? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and the extent of the minting mistake. Errors can occur at any stage of the minting process, and these mistakes can create unique variations that collectors prize. There are three main types of errors: die errors, planchet errors, and striking errors. A die error occurs when the engraved stamp used to press the coin is flawed, leading to misprinted details. Planchet errors happen when the blank metal disc used for striking the coin has imperfections. Striking errors occur during the minting process when the press malfunctions or misaligns. One of the most well-known and valuable errors in the 2006 penny series is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the coin's design. The doubling can appear in Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the lettering on the coin, such as "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." If you come across a 2006 penny with clear doubling, you could be holding onto a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Another valuable error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned with the press during striking, leading to a lopsided appearance where part of the design is missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors often seek out off-center pennies with a clear date and mint mark, as these factors significantly impact the value. The clipped planchet error is another rare find. This happens when a portion of the blank metal disc is accidentally cut off before striking. Depending on the size and shape of the clip, these coins can be worth a substantial amount to collectors who specialize in minting anomalies. One particularly unique error to look out for is the BIE die break error. This error creates the appearance of an extra I in the word liberty, caused by a small die break. Although subtle, this variety is highly sought after by specialists in Lincoln cents and can add extra value to your collection. The floating roof error is another fascinating variation that collectors hunt for. Normally, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse of the penny has a visible connection between the roof and its columns. However, on some error coins, this connection is missing, making it appear as though the roof is floating. This seemingly small detail can make a penny significantly more valuable to the right buyer. Real-life examples of collectors discovering valuable 2006 pennies make this even more exciting. One collector found a 2006 doubled die penny in a roll of coins they purchased from the bank, later selling it for over $500. Another lucky individual came across an off-center strike penny at a flea market, paying just a few cents before learning that their find was worth over $1,000. Perhaps the most astonishing case is that of a rare experimental 2006 penny with an unknown minting variation that sold at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. If you're interested in finding valuable 2006 pennies, there are several key tools you'll need. A magnifying glass or digital microscope can help you spot minute details like doubling or die breaks. A coin scale ensures your penny has the correct weight, as anomalies in weight can indicate planchet errors. Additionally, getting your coins professionally graded by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX can provide certification and increase their market value. To maximize your chances of finding valuable pennies, start by searching through pocket change, bank rolls, and even old coin jars. Many collectors have struck gold simply by checking everyday coins more closely. Estate sales, flea markets, and coin shops are also great places to look for hidden treasures. Once you've found an error coin, storing it properly in a protective holder or coin album will help maintain its condition and preserve its value. Now for the ultimate reveal, the rarest and most valuable 2006 penny discoveries. Among the most expensive 2006 pennies ever sold is a dramatic double-die variety that went for over $10,000 at auction. Additionally, a few ultra-rare minting errors have surfaced over the years, including experimental strikes that were never meant to leave the mint, making them exceptionally rare and highly valuable. Some experts speculate that previously undiscovered errors are still out there, waiting to be found. So, what does this all mean for you? It means that the next time you come across a 2006 penny, take a closer look. That unassuming coin in your pocket could be worth far more than 1 cent. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a complete beginner, searching for these rare error pennies is not only a fun hobby but also a potentially lucrative one. Start checking your change today, you might just uncover the next great coin treasure. The 1967 US penny is one of the most intriguing coins ever minted. At first glance, it might look like just another penny, small, copper, and seemingly insignificant. But hidden among the millions produced that year are coins worth far more than a single cent. Some have sold for hundreds of dollars, others for thousands, and a few rare finds could be worth even more than that. Could you imagine turning pocket change into a life-changing discovery? The 1967 penny has that potential. Now, why 1967? That was a unique year for coin collectors. It was a time when the US Mint decided to remove mint marks from all coins to discourage hoarding. This unusual step created an interesting dynamic where millions of coins were produced without the distinguishing mint marks collectors rely on to identify where a coin was made. While the majority of these pennies were standard, the process wasn't perfect, and errors slipped through, errors that now captivate collectors and can lead to immense value. But what makes a coin so valuable? It all comes down to errors, rarity, and condition. When coins are struck with mistakes during production, they become collectibles. Think of these errors as hidden secrets, waiting to be discovered by someone observant enough to notice them. Let's start with the basics. The 1967 penny is composed primarily of copper, 95% to be exact, with the remaining 5% being zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. On the obverse, it features Abraham Lincoln's profile, while the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. These specifications are essential because any deviation from them could signal a valuable error. For instance, if a 1967 penny is found to weigh slightly more or less than 3.11 grams, that's a red flag. It could mean the coin was struck on the wrong planchet, a mistake that instantly elevates its worth. One of the most sought-after errors is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side, with part of the coin blank. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, the 1980 pennies can range in value from $50 to over $1,000. It seems like just another piece of pocket change. The more dramatic the error, the more desirable it is casually used to buy a soda or pay for parking. Another fascinating error is the double die. Beneath its modest appearance, this happens when a coin is struck twice with slight misalignment in the details, creating a doubled image on the coin. To understand the true worth of this quarter, doubling is often most noticeable in the date, lettering, the Washington design element, introduced in 1932, imagine flipping over a symbol of American history, the letters and liberty appear doubled. By 1980, the design had remained largely telltale sign of a double profile of George Washington on the depending obverse, on the severity and visibility of the doubling, and a majestic eagle can fetch hundreds. if not thousands, the 1980 quarter was struck in 3 locations. Let's not forget Philadelphia, cracks, Denver, and San Francisco. As coin dies age, if you look closely at your cracks or break apart, you might spot a tiny causing raised lines or blobs to appear indicating on the mint where it was made. While these letters might seem insignificant, they're a favorite among collectors, play a crucial role in determining the coin's rarity and value. A small crack might not add much value. The 1980 quarter is but a large of a copper core, a piece of the nickel outer layer broken off, weighing leaving a blob-like feature on the coin, with a diameter can increase the coin's value significantly. These details might not mean much to the average person, only add to the coin collector. They're the foundation for identifying potential errors. The tale of a man who discovered an off-center in 1967 that transform an ordinary grandmother into a treasure worth pursuing. He had no idea what exactly makes the 1980 quarter so special. It's the coin was graded and sold for $850, all because of a slight mistake might sound like a bad thing. In the world of coin collecting, there's the story of a young collector the Holy Grail, using a simple magnifying glass, they're fascinating, found a double die penny while sorting through a roll of pennies he purchased at the bank. Let's uncover the most common errors found in 1980 quarters and why they matter. One of the most sought-after errors is the off-center strike. They're proof that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. This occurs when the coin is not to increase your chances of finding these valuable coins, causing part of the design to look for and how to inspect your change thoroughly. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. Or a jeweler's loop is a must. Imagine holding a quarter where only half of George Washington's lettering is signs of doubling. It's an eye-catching mistake. Look closely at the edges for inconsistencies. Another error to watch for is the clipped planchet. And don't forget this to weigh the coin. When the metal sheet used to create coins is improperly cut, leaving a portion of the coin could be a sign of an error. These clipped quarters often have a curved or straight edge that make collectors truly excited. Pennies struck on the wrong planchet. It's a small mistake, but one that significantly increases the coin's desirability. The blank metal discs used to strike coins, there's the double die sometimes get mixed favorite among collectors. For example, this occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or used multiple times. These errors are incredibly rare, of the design and their uniqueness drives their value sky high. On a 1980 quarter, you might notice double lettering struck on a silver dime planchet could be worth several thousand, or even on the date itself. The rarity of these subtle imperfections can dramatically boost the coin's value. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins each year, and the quality control process ensures that most errors are looked out before the coins enter circulation. These appear as raised lines. That's what makes the ones that slip through so special. Caused by a crack in the die used to strike the coin. For every error coin found, there are millions of standard can vary in size. The more this rarity creates a sense of mystery, the more appealing the coin becomes to collectors. As we move closer to the most valuable, the ones that fetch jaw-dropping prices at auctions, let's recap what we've learned. Often the result of extraordinary circumstances. Double dies, die coins cracks, struck on foreign planchet are a prime example, all worth keeping an eye out for. Imagine finding a 1980 but the value of a coin lighter isn't just about the error itself, or one that has an unusual color or composition. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, metal intended which ranges from currency, making them exceptionally rare and valuable. The higher stories the grade, from the world of coin collecting only add to the intrigue. An error coin in mint state condition in Florida shared how a seemingly ordinary quarter he found in heavily circulated turned out to be an off-center strike. This brings us to the most valuable 1967 pennies ever discovered. Professional grading. One of the most exciting finds was a 1967 penny with another collector in Texas discovered a dramatic double die. The doubling was so pronounced that it was visible to the naked eye, with clear doubling on the date and the word Liberty. That single find brought them a windfall. This coin sold for over $5,000 at auction. But what about the highest value, the incredible value of rare errors? These are the coins that go beyond errors. They're also a 1967 penny struck on a foreign planchet, graded at the top of the Sheldon scale. Coins such as Mint State, 68 discovered and sold for nearly $10,000, almost flawless. These rare finds are what keep collectors these pristine coins hoping to sell for thousands of dollars due to their rarity and condition. And now, for the ultimate combine that with a dramatic rarest error, and you're looking at a coin that could sell for six figures an off-center strike combined with a double die. You might be wondering, how can you find this extraordinary coin featured both a shifted design and visible doubling, making it a one-of-a-kind discovery? Many error auctions go unnoticed because people don't take the time to inspect their quarters. This coin represents the pinnacle of what collectors dream of finding, off-center design, an error so unique and rare that its value skyrocketed or cracks. The stories, a magnifying glass or loop can help you spot details that are invisible to the naked eye so special. If you're serious about finding valuable coins, it's a piece of history, consider buying a symbol of imperfection from your local bank. Into perfection. It's a cost-effective way to search for errors, in circulation, and you never know what you might find to be something extraordinary. Some collectors waiting for someone to discover its hidden value. Silver. By doing exactly that, the next time you're handed change at the grocery store, once you've identified a potential error upon an old coin jar, the next step is to evaluate its condition. That penny might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Professional coin grading service, a little NGC, and some numismatic guarantee you could be the next person can provide a professional assessment of your coin's grade worth and authenticity. Thousands, or even while this process comes with a fee, it's worth it if you believe your coin has significant value. A professionally graded coin not only commands a higher price but also reassures buyers of its authenticity. To preserve your coins, avoid handling them with bare hands. Use gloves to prevent oils from damaging the surface, and store your coins in protective holders or albums. Proper care ensures that your finds remain in the best possible condition, maximizing their value. The 1980 quarter is a prime example of why coin collecting is such an exciting hobby. It's not just about the monetary value, it's about the thrill of discovery, the history behind each piece, and the chance to own something truly unique. Whether you're searching for off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets, every coin you examine is a step closer to uncovering a hidden treasure. And here's the best part, the world of coin collecting is always evolving. As more people recognize the value of coins like the 1980 quarter, the demand, and prices, continue to rise. That means the quarter you find today could be worth even more tomorrow. The 1985 US penny, it may look just like any other coin that's been tossed around in your pocket or jar, but if you've ever glanced at it with a more discerning eye, you might be overlooking something that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. The truth is, there are rare 1985 pennies that have errors so significant, they've sold for life-changing sums. Most of us are familiar with the standard penny, but there's a hidden world of errors that can drastically impact its value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these valuable errors, and you might just find yourself with a small fortune in your pocket. Let's start by taking a quick look at the specifications of a typical 1985 penny. These pennies were minted in a time when the US government had already switched from the heavier copper composition to a mix of copper and zinc. The penny weighs 2.5 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Union shield on the reverse. But that's where the normalcy ends for most of these pennies. Some of these coins are far from ordinary, and if you know what to look for, they could be worth a lot more than the 1 cent they were originally intended for. You see, error coins are often overlooked by the casual observer, but for those with a keen eye, they can be gold mines. A penny from 1985 might appear ordinary at first glance, but certain mistakes made during the minting process can create a unique and highly valuable error. Minting errors are relatively common in coins, but they don't always get noticed, which is why many collectors find unexpected treasures in their change jars or old coin collections. One of the most exciting types of errors that can occur is the repunched mint mark, or RPM. This is where the mint mark on the coin, the D or S that indicates the mint location, is struck more than once, creating a doubled appearance. Imagine finding a 1985 penny with an extra D or S next to the mint mark. That's an error that can add significant value. And because these errors are often subtle, it's not always easy to spot them unless you know exactly what to look for. So how do you identify a repunched mint mark on a 1985 penny? The key is to examine the mint mark closely, preferably under magnification. You're looking for signs of a second impression, which will appear as a faint shadow next to the primary mint mark. With a little patience and a magnifying glass, you'll be able to catch the double impression that makes these coins so valuable. But, RPMs aren't the only error you should be on the lookout for. Another type of valuable error is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, resulting in a doubled image on the coin's features. It could be the date, the letters, or even parts of Lincoln's face. In the case of the 1985 penny, a double die error could make the date appear thicker, or you might notice a doubling effect on the Liberty inscription or the word, "In God We Trust." These coins are highly prized by collectors because of the dramatic and easily noticeable effect the error has on the coin's design. Spotting a double die error takes a bit more skill, but it's definitely worth learning how to identify. Start by examining the date carefully. Is there a noticeable separation between the two impressions? A magnifying glass or loupe will be your best friend here, as it can help you see the doubled lines clearly. You can also look for additional doubling on the words around the edges of the coin. If you spot any, you could be holding a rare piece of numismatic history in your hand. Off-center strikes are another common error that can make a 1985 penny far more valuable. This occurs when the penny isn't perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process, resulting in a misaligned design. Off-center strikes can vary in severity. Sometimes it's just a slight shift, but other times the design may be so off-center that part of the coin's features are completely missing. The more extreme the misalignment, the higher the value, especially if the off-center strike is clearly visible and recognizable to collectors. Identifying an off-center strike is fairly straightforward. You'll want to check the coin for any signs that the design is not centered on the penny. Look closely at the edges of the coin and see if any part of the design is missing or cut off. This type of error is especially exciting because the more dramatic the shift, the rarer it is, which means it could fetch a higher price. But it doesn't stop there. There are also die cracks and cuts that can make a 1985 penny exceptionally rare. Die cracks occur when the die used to strike the coin cracks, leaving raised lines or fissures on the surface of the coin. Cuts are similar, but they happen when a portion of the die breaks off, leaving a lump or raised area on the coin. These errors are unique and can make a 1985 penny stand out from the rest. To spot die cracks, you'll want to inspect the surface of the coin for any raised lines or unusual features. The cracks can appear anywhere on the coin, but they're most commonly found on the edges of the design. Cuts are a bit more obvious, as they appear as lumps or raised areas on the coin's surface. If you find either of these errors on your 1985 penny, you could have a rare and valuable coin in your collection. Now, you may be wondering, are these types of error coins really worth anything? The answer is a resounding yes. In fact, some 1985 pennies have sold for incredible amounts at auction. For example, a double die 1985 penny can sell for thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. One famous case involved a 1985 penny with a double die error that sold for over $20,000. And if you have a 1985 penny with an RPM error, you could be looking at anywhere from $500 to $5,000 or more, depending on the quality of the error. It's not just professional collectors who stumble upon these valuable coins. There have been countless stories of everyday people discovering rare error coins in their spare change. Take the case of a man who bought a 1985 penny at a coin shop for just a few dollars, only to discover later that it was a double die error worth over $10,000. Or the woman who found an off-center 1985 penny in her grandmother's collection, which ended up being worth over $15,000. These kinds of discoveries happen more often than you might think, and they can turn an ordinary coin into a windfall. But how can you be sure if you found a rare 1985 penny? The best way to authenticate a potentially valuable error coin is to get it graded by a professional coin grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations will carefully examine your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable your coin will be. If your coin is graded highly and it has a rare error, you could be looking at a small fortune. It's also important to note that not all 1985 pennies with errors are created equal. A coin's condition plays a significant role in its value. A penny with a minor error in poor condition is worth less than a penny with a major error in excellent condition. That's why it's important to not only know how to spot these errors but also to understand how to preserve the condition of your coins. While some of the most valuable 1985 penny errors can fetch thousands of dollars, others are worth a bit less, but they still represent a significant find. Even if your coin doesn't end up being worth a small fortune, it's still a unique piece of numismatic history that could be worth more than the face value of 1 cent. So, the next time you're flipping through your change or sorting through your old pennies, take a closer look at those 1985 pennies. You might be holding onto a rare gem without even realizing it. With just a little knowledge and a bit of patience, you could unlock the hidden value of these seemingly ordinary coins. And who knows, you might just find yourself with a valuable piece of history in your hands. Keep searching, because you never know what treasure is waiting to be discovered.